because the KDF are deployed, whether they are hidden in the barracks or not. What is this that Ruto is anticipating? What is this that Dwale is anticipating, that they want to leave the military deployed? Is this because, as Raila Odinga told me, that this is a student of Yoweri Museveni, who governs through the military? So I cannot put anything past this president, because a man who can see 12-year-old children being shot 10 bullets, 70, you are talking about 41 people dead, and not even a government minister attending any funeral. Why do you think this man, if things go south, they cannot bring in the military? As we speak today, I saw Kenyans in Muranga take over a police station, because they did not believe that the murderer who was alleged to have committed a crime would be taken for justice. So they raided the police station and they killed him, just as we speak. So my question is, and to the people that are doing the demonstrations, including all of us, we have to keep asking the question, why is there a legal military deployment in Kenya? And in fact, who has to benefit from it? And what chaos is there in Kenya that requires that? Or is somebody going to manufacture a problem like they did when they went to Githurai the other day? And they created a problem. Are they going to sponsor some kind of terrible issue and call it a problem? The other third and final issue I want to raise is the issue on corruption. I am looking at what happened the other day to the former governor of Migori, who was charged with crimes of up to 1.9 billion. And somewhere, the executive and others are negotiating with him to go scot-free, catch some property of 200 million. Who knows what will happen to the other charges? You remember the MP for Cilicia, John Waluke, was jailed for stealing nearly 1 billion with National Cereal Produce Board. He was jailed and convicted for 67 years. He was serving a jail term, and the alternative was he had to pay back at least 1 billion that was lost by the government, and that is the only way in which he would otherwise be released. Today, as we speak, John Waluke ran for elections, convicted, he ran for elections. Nobody ever talks about him anymore. He's a friend of William Ruto. He's a central part of what's going on in Western Kenya and Western Kenyan politics. How can there be any nation on earth where a convicted and jailed member of parliament stealing from the public has been let loose to live and let live? We go to the deputy president, Gachagua, 200 and something million. Justice Minor of the High Court, before elections, had found Gachagua a case to answer. Over 200 million. We can go back to the Dubai plane hired by William Ruto, to Runturi at the Ministry of Agriculture, to the opulence of Mukomen and Oscar Sudi. And you can look at all these things and ask yourself, all this money is the motivation for which these people are in power. Finally, I want to say this. If we had not defeated the BBI, the only reason the BBI was defeated is because of Chapter 4 on the Bill of Rights. That people have a right to be consulted on how their constitution can be altered and by who. It must be people driven. This time round, the GenZ and all of us who are here to discuss these issues are seeing a people driven revolution for a better government, because there is no valid contract between the governed and the government. And we have a right, inherent right, to break that contract. So mine today is to add my voice that there is no talks, there is no negotiating. And I can tell you, Raila Odinga lies to my face, and I'm telling the country as Tonu Gachoka that he lied to me. And he lied to me why Ruto should not govern. And yet he's the same man now calling for other talks. And he's the same man who knows NADCO was never implemented. And he's calling for another NADCO, simply because he's been told by the president, this is conditional upon our deals going on, whether it's the African Union and everything else, but all other Kenyans be damned. I think that is my opening comment.
Thank you so much, Tony. And I hear some echo. Hillary or Kingsman, I don't know. Can you, Hillary, can you hear me well?
Yeah, I can hear you well. I think, oh yeah, everything is okay now.
Okay, thank you.
It was Tony's mic, but